Psychology is one of the most powerful fields out there. I know some math, but I really can't do much with that math. But psychology, if you apply the knowledge you learn, your life can change radically. Whereas math, physics, economics, your life isn't going to change radically. Maybe in terms of money, but that's really it. Because it's limited to just your career pretty much, and maybe your hobbies. But psychology is useful everywhere. You're always interacting with other humans, but with the great power psychology has, it also has great responsibility. You know how Uncle Ben said it? So in psychology, we have to consider another concept from psychology. The concept of adaptive behaviors and maladaptive behaviors. And I might be getting this wrong, but basically the idea is, okay, so apparently I don't know what adaptive behavior is. Adaptive behavior is just basic life skills, I think. So I'm thinking more adaptations to your environment. So you're growing, it's good for you. All right, enjoy. Sorry for interrupting. A behavior is adaptive if it's good for you, if it makes your life better in some way, or in a bunch of ways, and it doesn't make your life worse. So maladaptive, it means it makes your life bad. Like doing drugs, that's usually, I would say almost always maladaptive. Well, the wrong drugs are maladaptive. But if you're under 18, all the drugs are the wrong drugs. Legally speaking. And for your brain. Take care of your brain. The problem is psychologists don't consider that theories can be adaptive or maladaptive when they fucking put it out there. They're just hey, I found something cool. They don't consider all of the negative effects of what they're saying has on people. What this video is about is the specific fallacy. Some dude in 2007 coined this term, the narrative fallacy. So the narrative fallacy basically says, human minds, we make connections that aren't there to make sense of a world that doesn't inherently make sense. So we can all see where they're coming from, right? Because humans tell stories. We just make shit up. When we don't know something, we just make it up. There's it's thundering, there's loud noises, flashing lights, and it's pouring rain. Uh-oh, the thunder god Zeus, he's fucking pissed. So psychologists are fucking all highbrow, up on in their fucking ivory tower saying, oh, look at these people telling themselves stories. I pity these fools. I know that there's truly no meaning in this existence. But I have some bones to pick with these psychologists. So on one hand, let's look at the good parts of this before I dismantle it in trash and reveal the dog shit that this really is. The good parts. Most of the narratives we tell ourselves, or many, I don't know if most, it depends on the person, if they're a happy person, if they're a sad person, miserable person. The sad person, he's gonna tell himself a lot of narratives that reinforce that and make him more sad. Whenever something bad happens, he thinks he deserves it, or he really dwells on it and ruminates, and he tells himself a story, which is a shit story. Now the happy person, it's not like they're fucking, everything's going up their way. Yeah, everything's going great. No, as a happy person, I can tell you, I think thoughts that make me happy. It's not like it just fucking happens to you. If you want to let happiness happen to you, sure, maybe you'll be happy sometimes, but you'll also be really sad sometimes, a lot of the time. Because you'll always find reasons to be sad. So yes, we gotta be careful about telling ourselves bad narratives. So if that was all there was to the narrative fallacy, then that'd be great. That'd be very adaptive. It would stop people from telling themselves negative stories. The problem is that people start using it maladaptively because they think there's some intellectual who knows the truth. Guess what, bro? Just because it's a science doesn't mean it's a fact. Especially psychology. No offense to psychology. I talked about the strengths of psychology. Some of the weaknesses are, it's hard to study the human brain. It's super complex. It's not like fucking math or physics, which is just objective. It's hard, it's easy to say what's objective in math and physics, Whereas psychology, everyone's brain is different. What's true for one person is true for another. Whereas in fucking space, what's true for one planet with all these conditions is true for a completely different planet with the exact same conditions. And like even chemistry and biology, the hard sciences, they're very verifiable. They're facts. We work with facts, or we work with theories that are like very reliable. Whereas in psychology, there's so much less reliability. Like the most reliable theories in psychology are still not that reliable. It has nothing on fucking Newton's laws of gravity. And the crazy part is Newton's laws of gravity isn't even the whole picture, and yet that still captures like 99.99% of shit. So it becomes a big problem when someone's in a vulnerable position or someone's in even like a more neutral state. It becomes a problem when that person starts to intellectualize these things, these theories that are these concepts, these fallacies that aren't even like 100% like verified. Like there's nowhere that you can prove that this is a fact. It's just a behavior that occurs. So people who are like neutral or sad, they'll hear, oh, don't make stories up. But bro, if something bad happens to you, let's think about what's the better way of thinking about things. Just from the adaptive, maladaptive point of view. And let's just go brutal. Let's say you're like an 8-year-old little kid and you watch your entire family get slaughtered and you're held as let's just stop it there. And then you're an orphan. That's it. So that's very bad, you know? That's terrible. So should this kid think there is no meaning in this? This didn't happen for a reason. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time in a random chaotic universe. Is that gonna transform that kid and make him have the best life he can possibly have? Or is it the narrative that he went through bad shit so that he could use that to fuel and help other kids who go through that shit? Because this kid, he's going through these hard times, but if he decides to have a narrative that is adaptive, like shit happens, but it happened to me because I'm strong enough I can handle this. This is shaping the person I'm becoming. Like that is a complete narrative. That this bad situation is shaping who I am. But that narrative, if you let it shape you, if the narrative is it shapes you in a way that transforms you and makes you grow and makes you it makes you see the beauty in humanity and like that you can get through anything. That narrative is so much more adaptive, but it's all bullshit. We're all just making up stories. But the thing is, with the human mind, when you tell it something, it believes it. We're very gullible and we can use that to our advantage. Like, I get it. There's objective reality out there, probably. But first of all, we don't know what that objective reality is. But just because it has a higher probability of objectively being true, would you rather know that reality and have a shit existence? Or would you rather make up a narrative that is adaptive and makes you grow and be the best person you can and like improve the existence of other humans? And another thing. Sure, maybe there is a narrative fallacy. Maybe we are just small human minds making connections because that's the fastest way to do it, because you have to be fast, you have to work on instinct because we're just animals, right? But that's what makes us humans, bro. Do you want to be a computer? Do you want to be a program that every time you run it, it just prints, hello world, hello world, hello world? No, you don't want to do that. And even if it was a more complicated program, you still wouldn't want to do that. You're doing the exact same thing. Even if you import math.random. It's like, bro, if you want to be a computer, if this is like some weird sexuality thing where you're a computer, then go ahead. Yeah, you can believe the narrative fallacy. You can deny all these stories. But if you want to be a fucking human and you see the beauty in storytelling, even if it's not the closest thing we could possibly get to the truth, like if you'd rather read a storybook about a hero's journey and he overcoming difficulties, I'm with you. But if you'd rather read the encyclopedia, I don't want to read that. I mean, you can read that, but that's not for me. So get off your high horse. Stop believing, stop fucking putting so much weight into these stupid ass fallacies. If you understand this fallacy, your existence will be so much better. I think, at least. I mean, what do I know? I'm a small human fucking brain, but so are you. Unless you're an AI coming to kill me. All right, so Thank you for watching.